1,000 tanks and I gave it up and I sold it and I destroyed it. I didn't have anything. I'm resisting with my own pure flesh. And no one can take away this from me. This is my full right under occupation. But let me try to have the due process of international law, backing with the international community. The Quartet International said 24 months to resolve all core issues: Jerusalem, border, settlement, refugees, water, security. The 4 months, we specified with Mitchell to finish 2 issues: borders and security. And 2 things, they have been completed. Yani all the US has to do is that 2 states, state of Palestine, to live side by side in peace and security next to the state of Israel, on the 1967 borders with agreed swaps, we left a blank for them. Fill the blank. If it's not 6.5, if not 2%, what's the blank? Fill it. And that's why we wanted Mitchell to be the arbitrator and not the mediator, for a change. Because we're sick and tired of mediation. We need something binding. And the second thing is locked in with an agreement done by General Jones, Jim Jones, who's now the National Security Advisor of the US, on the variables I described to you on security. Arab Summit tomorrow, we want 3 things. Number 1, we need their support, the Arab Peace Initiative, which is, in my opinion, the most important strategic document Arabs presented since 1948, telling Israel, if you withdraw from the occupied territories of 67, we will have full relations with you. Not before. After you withdraw from West Bank, East Jerusalem, Gaza, and the Golan Arab Heights, Syria and the remaining parts of Lebanon, we will have relations. So it's 58-state solution, not 2-state solution. We want them to stay to that. We want them to stay the course on this. Number 2, we want them to help us in institution building, funding our projects in financially in Jerusalem, educational, health, welfare, and so on, and the rest of the West Bank. And number 3 is to help us with the reconciliation, to stop getting the stick from the middle. Fatah had signed. Hamas did not sign. They should all say with one voice, Hamas should go and sign. And I answered about that.
No, thank you. Yes, so yes, question.
I'm Kevin from the Department of Political Science International Studies. I would like to see what is your reaction to just a few hours ago, the UK Foreign Minister expelled the Israeli ambassador to UK over the assassination of the Hamas leader in January this year. Actually for the cloning the UK passport, not just for the act. What is your reaction to that?
And the question behind? Yes.
So several years ago, when Ariel Sharon disengaged or took out settlements in Gaza, was that a good step, a proper step, and can that be used as a model for peace in the future?
Okay. Any more? Yes.
I'd like to disagree with you that the only solution left is the 2-state solution. I think after all the attempts that have been made over time, Madrid, Camp David, Taba, Oslo, everything else that has been done, nothing has ever materialized from it. The only solution left, the only offer that's nearly got there was Oslo, and we only got an offer of 22%. Now, if as Netanyahu asserts at the moment that they keep most of the settlements in the West Bank, maybe all of Area C, as Livni has also asserted, that would leave the Palestinians with 10% of historic mandate Palestine left. How on earth are we supposed to accommodate all the 5.5 million refugees and provide a viable state for them to live in within a 10% of historic Palestine? Isn't the time now to go for a 1-state solution and do like the South Africans did and demand equality?
Okay, let's take those 3.
First of all, I think what the Israeli Mossad did in Dubai is a shameful, despicable act that deserves the condemnation of everybody in the international community. Political assassinations have always been a recipe for disaster and for instigating violence and counter-violence and bloodshed and extremism. And now, as far as the UK is concerned, expelling a diplomat or doing whatever it takes to protect its interest, I think that's for the UK, Ireland, France, Germany, and other nations that their passports were involved to decide. I'm not going to poke my nose in what Britain does. I don't think they need someone like me to teach them. And that's their business. On Sharon, look, today, if you speak to Israelis, when they want to score points against me, they would say, we withdrew from Gaza and we have missiles. We withdrew from South Lebanon and we have Hezbollah and we have missiles. My response to Sharon on this point, I told him, sir, you withdrew from Sinai through a process of bilateralism with a country called Egypt. Peace stands. You withdrew from Jordanian territories in a bilateral process with Jordan, and peace stands. You said that you withdrew from South Lebanon and Gaza, unilateralism. Unilateral. And that proves that unilateralism does not function, does not work. The failure is dictation and unilateralism, and that's why we need him to be a partner, the Israelis, in order to be in a bilateral process with us on the two-state solution. Michael, I have not found a way to stand guards on people's lips. Even Netanyahu or Livni or anybody. I cannot. I cannot stand guards on anybody's lips. So the Israelis will say whatever they want to say. They can say it. I cannot stop it. If, however, they want to make peace with me, if they want this pen to sign an agreement, it's going to be the 4th of June 1967 borders with the agreed swaps. I'll make it shorter. The size of the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem, and no man's land on the eve of June 4th, 1967, it stood at 6,258 square kilometers, including East Jerusalem, and it will not be a single inch less than this. Okay? That's what international law provided for me. If not this year, in 10 years, and the sooner they do it, the more lives of Israelis and Palestinians we will save. And it cannot work in any other way. Now, on refugees, look, no nation has the right to solve the problem of its refugees in accordance with international law. You're in the political science department, you know that. This, from all conflicts, you must provide a chart for the refugee. You want to stay where you are, you want to come back